Hey everybody, how's it going? Wave, wave. I hope the camera's still running. The camera's been overheating a little bit lately, so let me know if it freezes. Let's see, who's here? Hey Milo, Garen, Quasor, Brent. Did I just stumble into the beginning? Yes, you did, the very beginning. Let's see. Hey Bass Bus, how's it going? So, whoops, wrong channel. This one. You're only going to see my hands a little teeny bit in the corner because I was too lazy to set up two cameras today. But when I'm over here fiddling with this thing, you will. And we're going to probably look at Ableton a lot because I'm going to bounce these things over to audio in Ableton. Has anyone got one of these, Cobalt 8, or did they used to have one and get rid of it? Any of the modal synths. I really think except for the Carbon, which is the new one, and I don't know anything about it, other than, I've read some specs, which means like nothing. Like the Argon is the wavetable version, Cobalt is the VA version, but I really think they're super similar, so whatever. Hey Doug, how's it going? How do I like the Launchpad versus the Push 3? They're comparable. From a play surface, they're about the same. I mean, the Push 3 has more expressivity, but then this is the Launchpad X, by the way. You can only see the little corner here. So this one's USB only, no MIDI. I mean, it's USB MIDI, but it's fine. It's just convenient for me to set up on this tiny little table, Doug. That's why I'm using it. Let's see. Quasar, Bass Bus, Lords of Form, hey there. Neil Sanche, Thor Inside. That could be like Thor and Oakenshield side, or it could be Thor Inside. I'm gonna go with the latter, probably. So, Karen says you've got the Cobalt 5S. So, okay. So, I have a not love-hate. I have a love-ignoring relationship with this thing. I love it, and then I go on and ignore it for like months at a time. So I'm trying to give it a little bit more love. If you haven't updated to the 2.1 firmware or the 2.0 firmware, you should, because that fixes a bunch of the problems that were in it. And this morning, I was trying to get this thing to sync its internal clock to MIDI, and it just wouldn't do it. And I'm like, what the hell? I thought I was Googling all the problems. It was my fault. I basically had it... it was listening for clock over MIDI, but I wasn't actually sending clock out of Ableton for MIDI. I had unticked the sync box because I'm an idiot. So, hey Wookie, and Marky, hey there, and Mr. Hopkins, greetings. So, Doug said you saw a very good deal on a TO5 and Take 5 desktop module together for less than a Tricounter OE6. I don't know, like what is it, the tariffs or whatever has caused their prices to go up, but those new modules are pricey. So I'm gonna hold off on those. I would like a Take 5, but I'll get around to it. So anyway, what are we doing today? So let me flip this over. So we'll look at the synth a little bit. Actually, we'll just leave it pointed at the synth for now. What I was gonna do was build a little Berlin School sketch. If you looked at the K2 video I put out last week, I'm basically going through all my synths and doing little Berlin School sketches with the synth as the only piece of hardware. And I'm going to do this one later today. But for this stream, I thought I would do it as well, just for giggles. It's super fun. So we're basically taking this, capturing some MIDI in Ableton, playing this, making a sound on it, printing that to a clip in Ableton, and then layering a bunch to make a little Berlin School sort of thing going on there. Oop, hang on. Ooh, I need to be able to see. There we go. The Take 5 module desktop is $1,300. Yeah, that seems a bit excessive to me. So, Garen has the same relationship with the 5S. You either love it or you ignore it. Yeah, it doesn't get enough love. I'm going to talk about it. So, this panel is okay, not great. There are some things. Oh shit! As long as I'm going to poop on it. Let's say what I don't like about it right now. The sound of this synth is very good. I like it. And it can get very, it's a digital synth, but it's got all the standard bells and whistles that are available in most digital synths now. You can control drift and age, like vintage quality. It'll, you know, put things out of tune in an interesting, you know, way. The main problem I have with it is a couple things. The panel, the knobs on the panel are way too light. Like it feels like I'm turning, there's no resistance to them, like at all. And it bugs me. That's right. So this is personal preferences, right? I've never been a fan of joysticks, especially if I want a mod wheel, I want to be able to position the mod wheel and leave it there. That bugs me. The other thing is half of the buttons, more than half of the buttons on the panel are pressable. So like press, but there's no indicator of whether a button is pressable or not, or knob, I should say. So like this knob is pressable. This knob is not. Although it will make a little click when you press in on it, but it doesn't do anything. So this has a longer, the pressable ones have a longer throw, right? So there's no indicator. You could say the pressable ones have an LED near them. You could say that, which is not quite true here, because like these ones are not pressable. It's the middle one that's pressable that flips back and forth. This bugs me. Like paint a dot on these. I may go get my wife's nail polish and just put little dots on the ones that are pressable to remind myself. It bugs me. Yeah, so really that's like from a panel physicality build perspective, knobs are super light, no resistance, and the pressable ones aren't indicated. And then lastly, there's a shift function, and I'm okay with shift functions. You turn on shift and then the lower label on the knobs means something, is what the shift function is. And they've got it as a separate color, like the knob labels are sort of white, like this white. And the shift labels are a sky blue, but it's like the difference between white and sky blue on a blue background. It's like make them orange or something, guys. You're bugging me. Anyway, so pedantic, I know, a little whiny stuff. Let's see. No, okay, no more comments. Let's see. If you have any questions, tag me, please, or put capital Q's in front of stuff. Anyway, but the sound of this synth is excellent, and it will get plenty loud. The early firmware, it was super quiet, and you had to like turn the gain up a long way. Like you had to really crank the gain to get it going, and that would bring the noise floor up. That's been solved, so that's not a problem anymore. So let's make a Berlin School sketch with this, all right? So we'll initialize it. I think init is a sign. Yeah, and it's a sign. I'm going to try and use the effects on the Cobalt because its effects are okay. They're not great, but they're pretty good. So we'll try. And if it bugs me too much, I'll use the ones in Ableton. All right, so the thing I like about this synth from an oscillator perspective is I should pull up I'm not going to share nah. I was going to say I'll pull up the manual. There's 64, I think, different oscillator algorithms in here, right? Digital oscillator. And they're really nice with a really sort of broad range of stuff. So we're going to operate on oscillator A here. We're going to pick an algorithm. By default, it's this sort of virtual analog sweep. Goes from sine, triangle, saw, square, pulse. Right? But that's kind of boring. We've all heard that before. Let's find something more interesting. So VA crushed. Yeah. So there's two parameters for every oscillator, the primary parameter and secondary for each algorithm. So the VA crushed algorithm, it's still virtual analog, so you go through the waves, but then the second parameter is this crush. So if we take a sine, it's like bit crushing, reducing the bit resolution of it. All right, not amazing, but interesting. Spread saw. This is another thing that is a love-hate relationship. So this property, this parameter I'm changing, here it's doing sort of like pulse width modulation on the sawtooth. Let me turn that up. Hang on a minute. Make it louder. Okay. So say the value of this parameter is from 0 to 127, right? Very common in a digital synth. Maps nicely to MIDI CCs, right? But the way this works is from 0 to 63. Zero to 63 is how detuned are these sort of multiple saws. But as soon as you get to 64, so what they're doing is they're sort of multi-purposing the range of the knob. They're setting from 0 to 63 is how detuned the saws are. And then from 64 to 127 in sort of buckets, I think 8 buckets, it's the saw and then an interval above it, like a third and then a fifth and then a seventh. And then it's like a harmonic series. So that, what is that, major third? And as you turn it past it, it detunes them. And then that's a fourth, I think, maybe a fifth. I don't have good, like, relative pitch. And then it detunes them. That's a fifth. Detunes them. Octave. And then was that a fifth above? And then starts doing the subdivisions below. Right, till it's an octave below. So that's the sort of thing where you have to RTFM this manual, right? Because if you're just fiddling around here and you're turning the parameter on the knob, and you're like, oh yeah, it's a detuned saw. Yeah, detuned saw, that makes sense. And then as soon as you keep turning it, what's interesting is you can modulate through that too if you really wanted to. It's interesting. But I don't know, love it or hate it. Bugs me. Hey, the Lazarus Pit. Greetings. That's okay. There wasn't much going on at the start. I didn't jam for very long. I just made a little noise. Detuning like the JP8000 super saw? Kind of. Yeah, it's super saw-like, right? Anyway, so let's continue to progress this forward. We're going to do a Berlin School sketch. So let me make a quick little plucky thing. All right. All right, filter. Bring the filter down and turn our filter depth up. All right, that's a pluck. That's enough pluck. So let's play with the effects. Let's put a little reverb on here. So there's some effects in here that are like version 1 and version 2. The version 2 are the ones that came with the 2.0 firmware, and they're much better. The reverb in here for version 1 was terrible. It was this nasty metallic thing. Version 2 is a bit better. Hang on a sec. Still a little metallic. Turn the brightness down. And then I want to turn shift down so I can get to, now leave the high pass modulations up. Pre-delay. You see, it's so much easier just to like go into Ableton and throw a big old black hole reverb on it. Right? But if you're playing live or you're playing somewhere, you're doing a hardware jam, right? It's good to have effects, and they're okay. Let's put a little delay on it too. So effects, it's got 3 effect slots in it. Let's put a crossover delay. I'm not sure what that is. I have to read the manual. on a second. Let me turn on my metronome in my ear. That's quarter note delay. All right, good enough. And then feedback. And then we'll do our final effect slot. Will be what? Interesting. So most of the effects are disabled. I wonder if using the new 2.0 reverb chews up the CPU so much that it can't run another effect. Or maybe that I've got it slot specific. Meh. All right, we'll lean on Ableton for a little phaser effect. Yeah, that'll work. All right. And then the problem is patch seek volume. So there's patch gain. That's their new sort of thing. You can set the gain of the patches to sort of balance them out through the whole system. And it defaults to a really low value. So like I could crank this up much higher. There we go. All right, let's record a little tiny Berlin School pattern here. Very simple. We're going to layer a couple of them together. But not that one. So Doug, Launchpad X, the threshold for striking it, it wants to be hit really hard. I'm used to the push 3, which has a super light touch, and this one's got to be, you got to be a little meatier with it. So a lot of times I'll hit a note and I'll hit it too soft and it won't trigger. So we recorded a little pattern here. Except my timing's terrible. Hold on a second. My timing's really bad today. Let's see, what do we want to do to this? Let's quantize you to 8th notes, shall we? So let's play with the sound now. All right, go back to our filter. And then our LFO, there's 3 LFOs in here, and one of them, LFO1, is like global, and LFO2 and 3 are per note. So what I want to do is I want to fiddle with the, I want to filter with the cutoff a little bit. Actually, no, I want to modulate the envelope depth. Yeah. So what do? We press LFO, I believe, and it says assign mode, and I just got to turn something. Bring up the depth of the LFO. Allegedly. Is that modulating the depth or not? Let's go look. So you can look at the mod slots in here too. Let's see. Okay, LFO1's going to filter an EG amount, and it's on. All right, let's turn the depth up more. It seems like it's not having much of an effect. I'm not hearing it. Well, you know what we're gonna do? Since we're printing these to audio, I'll do it manually. We don't need to have the LFO do it. So let's do this. Let me print this. Oh, here. For those of you who don't know, let me check the chat real quick. A lot of hellos. You can change the velocity curve by pressing and holding session briefly and using the second scene launch. But thanks, Doug. I'm going to do it manually. So, all right, let me flip this over to this for a second. All right, so there's our MIDI clip. All right. And what I want to do is I want to bounce this clip to audio. So we will hit All right, so that basically mutes the MIDI track then. Can I get this audio track there in? All right, so that's good enough. So let's do a second loop. Hang on a second. I'm gonna leave it. So I just wanted to demonstrate that in Ableton. Ableton 12's new bounce feature is very convenient. Hang on, ding, all right. Garen says there are some routings in the Cobalt that are extremely subtle and don't work like you'd expect. I agree. So that's okay. All right, let's put another one on here. Let's go up an octave. And let's change the oscillator while we're there. So, and we will also change the algorithm. Yeah. Actually, let's go to something really strange. All right, let's turn the delay down. Actually, just the delay that's turning everything down. Wet, dry. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's do another clip on top of this, something else, something super short. Yeah, we'll do it that way. I just want that much of it. And we'll mute it pretty well so it's not too, it's a little harsh. If we lay this back with the other one, yeah. So we'll use those as a bed. Let me print this one too. Hang on one sec. There we go. Yeah, not great, but it's good enough. I'm just demonstrating printing this thing. Let's see. So let's, I didn't want to do like a giant like run through of presets, but I'm going to use it to just grab a bass real quick, something simple. Let's see. The presets that are on this, especially the version 2 ones, are pretty nice. Let me see. There's got to be something here called bass. Garen, if you have suggestions, let me know. Gee, what do you think the patch called Trent Reznor sounds like? Let's turn off the phaser. We'll do a little industrial today. Not my goal, but that's a cool sound. There we go. I will say this, most of the Cobalt's presets are super sensitive to velocity. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take that and put a little chorus on it. All right, we'll try that. Whoa, whoops. Help if I plan my timing a little bit better. Here we go. All right, so I'm not trying to play very cleanly, so let us clean this up. Hang on one sec. All right, that'll work. And what do we want to do to it? A little reverb. Now this is using a compressor and an EQ and a nothing. What are my options for that remaining slot? Rotary. Maybe not. Hang on a sec. Let's make it wide with a little ping pong delay. Let me mute the other ones, hold on. Boy, that sounds like ass. Dialing in the delay manually. I'm turning and listening and turning and listening. That's not bad. I bring the other ones back in. It's like angry today. I'm not angry. I'm in a good mood. Let's see. Do. Hey, Tinker Scientist. You're here in spirit. That's fine. Oh, watch Martin's stuff. He's much more pro. Garen, 5S presets are completely different from the Cobalt 8. Oh, sorry, dude. Hey, I sing the Body Electric. Greetings. So we're just making a little noise here. Oh, it's already 2:30. Ooh, man. I have a bit of gardening I have to get done later. Anyway. What happens if we bring this up an octave? That's better. So this is the Cobalt 8. I'm having fun with it. I'm going to do another, like a formal video about this and try and actually make it sound a little bit better, less like impromptu, right? When I'm recording video as opposed to live streaming, I can, tweak and things like that and then edit out the tweaking to make things nice. Hey, Quattro Bugino. Thanks. We're getting there. Let's try a lead. Oh, let me print this bass part. Hang on one second. All right, so that's printed. Now let's find a lead. All right, go back to patches, and we'll just surf some presets. So I made 2 patches, or made 2 sounds for the plucks, and now we're just going to grab some stuff. Oh, the ARP's on. Hang on a second. Man, this thing it's in the mood to be sort of grungy. I want to clean. Someone at Modal really likes their sort of compressed to distortion effect processing. This might bite through. Nah, it's a little shrill. I want something that holds. Less plucky. Ooh. So there's a patch design decision I don't care for. So nice sort of like soft horn lead. But the aftertouch. Yeah, no. I'm okay with dissonance, but that's not doing it for me. No. Let's see. There we go. It says brassy lead, but that sounds more square to me. Let's soften it a little bit. All right, let's see how that sounds. No, it's actually too smooth. We do want something with a little bite. That bass makes everything. Little Vangelis sort of CS80 horn thing going on. With weird detune. right. So, Cobalt 8M. I like this synth. I'm going to hold on to it. this is all these synth videos are going to be me deciding whether or not I want to sell the thing. The panel is pretty good. As I said earlier, there's just some things about the panel that bug me. The knobs are too light. Pressable knobs are not indicated that they're pressable, so you have to sort of like, you'll memorize it over time. But even so, it's a little frustrating. As Garen pointed out, some of the modulation is real subtle, like even at max, like setting LFO1 up to max on filter EG, it wasn't really digging in. Now that could be pilot error. I could be screwing something up myself, but I don't know, we'll see. Hey Enzo, hey Eric, hey Simon, AKA Fat Dad with a PH, okay. Welcome back, I should say. Yeah, so I don't know, it's not bad. Let's shut these up. Let's stop these clips and let's go dig up a pad here. We heard a couple CS80 like. So there's this trend to put rhythmic stuff into your patches, which is fine. I like this. They don't actually have like a blatant drum part in there. So like if you're using a Roland or something that's got like, you know, 4 parts and then a rhythm part, yeah, sure, put the drum stuff in. But or the Korg Wave State, right? It's like there's a drum kit in there, so make use of it. But I like this on the Cobalt where there's a rhythmic thing going on, both from the step sequencer perspective, but they've got something pretending to be a kick, but it's not a blatant kick. It's more like an envelope closing on the downbeat. Down. I could build something around there. All right, let's see. I'm looking for a pad. No, it's okay. I like my pads to sort of stay on the root. Like that's bringing in a 4th below or something like that. There we go. That's more my speed. It's a little thin. That one's a little thin. A whole bunch of init patches. Interesting. Thought I had more in here than just 50. Oh, there they are. Oh, maybe not. Oh. So at some point in time, I was fiddling with the, the programmer for this. Oh, there's the noise floor. So if you turn on like the distortion circuit and the compression circuit and then bring the gain up, you will get the noise floor. Hang on, the chorus is making it wavy. There it is. I think that's the rotary effect. What's in here? Lo-fi. There's a lo-fi effect. Garen, you're all set. Tremolo. So is it the tremolo? I bet it's a tremolo. Yeah, it's a tremolo. The tremolo is a wee bit noisy. Wow, that's painful. That's okay. That's somebody else's choice. Again, I was looking for a pad, but all these patches are unnamed. That'll do. So I did a video long ago on, I can't remember the title of the video, but the gist of the video was, so you just bought a new synth and you brought it home, and now that you're playing it and it sucks. Disappointment. You're like, oh, this doesn't sound as good as it sounded, in the store, or I heard it, I bought it based on demos that I saw on YouTube, and then you bring it in, you plug it in, and you're like, oh, this is not great. And the video was about how to salvage that stuff, and it was basically go put lo-fi for the win. No, Garen. The video was basically about, with enough effects, you can save any synth, right? We can make the Timberwolf sound good with enough, enough synth effects on it. So, like, take this pad, for example. It's interesting. That's really freaking interesting. What was that? Was that my aftertouch doing that? Trying to get it to do that again. I think that was after pressure. Yeah. Okay, that's on release of the aftertouch. It does that. We must be playing with the time parameter of the delay. Gotta be. Let's see what's in here. Chorus, crossover delay. All right, so if I turn the crossover delay off, will it do it? Yeah, okay, so they were modulating the delay time of crossover delay. So let's just take this. It sounds good, but it's not great, all right? But we can make it better. It sounds like the $6 million man. We can rebuild it. We can make it better. Let's go grab, hold on, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm grabbing a reverb plugin. I'm grabbing everyone's favorite. Let's go get, actually, let's not grab everyone's favorite. Let's grab something else. So I treat effects like I treat my refrigerator. We just sort of reach in and grab that thing we want, right? We used to, in college, we would, certain people would refer to their significant other as their refrigerator because they weren't really interested in dating them long term, but they were like, but they're there when I just reach in the fridge and I need something. They're there. It's terrible, terrible attitude when we were in our late teens. All right, hang on a sec. Yeah. Right, so if you got a, the Cobalt 8, it has effects. They need a little love, though. Its effects, the amount of CPU that it can spare for effects is limited, and you could get a lot done. It's got it's excellent for modulation effects, but its reverb's a little weak. But you could take, its timbres, though, are awesome. Does anyone want to take a guess at what reverb I just pulled out of the fridge? Let's see. I Sing the Body Electric says, have you owned this Cobalt for a while? Is it the first only model synth you've played? From Modal, this is the only modal synth I've ever owned. And I've had this for, I don't know, since it came out. So, yeah, and I like it, right? But it's like, you missed at the beginning, I sang this it goes through phases where it gets a lot of play, and it goes through like months when it just lives in the rack and I don't touch it. So I am trying over the next few months to really dig into all of the synths. I've got them set up in stations, and I'm rotating around those stations every week to try and force myself to really dig in. Because, for example, I wanted a sequential synth. I never had one. I don't love sequential. I mean, it's not that I don't like them, it's that I never got bit by the bug that was like, oh my God, Dave Smith, sequential Prophet, oh my God, oh my God. I don't have that, I've never been infected with that. And it's not that I don't like them, they sound great. I just never wanted one. And I went through a phase where my collection said, you know, you should really get a sequential. And this was right after Dave Smith died. So I was like, yeah, I should probably add something to the collection, right? And, but the thing is, I prefer digital synths, right? And yes, DCO versus VCO, yes, I know. But I went for a Prophet 12. So I picked up a Prophet 12, and it's in the collection. So the collector in me is happy, but the music maker in me has barely scratched the surface, and I've had that for over a year. So like I said a couple streams ago, I buy synths, I play with them briefly, and then they have to sit and age like wine in the collection for a while, and then I come back to them. That's basically what happens. But to try and combat that, I've made these stations where I rotate around. Lazarus Pit, good guess. I use Valhalla Supermassive Cygnus X1 a lot because I like the Cygnus X1 reference. Anything I could tie into Rush, that's like, oh, you get a pass from me. But no, this is Realm from Native Instruments, believe it or not. Ire asks, how does the Cobalt compare to the Hydrasynth? Very different. They're both a little thin, a little thin. I mean, you can make them not thin, right? Everything's achievable through tweaking, right? But they're completely different. The Cobalt is definitely, it's not a wavetable synth, although it acts, I think timbrally it acts similar to a wavetable because you can, it's oscillator algorithms, there's some really wacky ones in there. You must read the manual though, because their explanation of their oscillators, like just by turning knobs, you won't figure it out because the knobs do one thing for the first throw, for the first half of the throw of the knob, and then something different for the other half. You end up, so it's like this oscillator behaves this way for the half of the turn of this dial. So you can play in there, and then if you turn it beyond the halfway point, it does something completely different, and it's not intuitive. You got to read the manual to know what it's going to do. So anyway, hey Andy, what's your bad, Andy? Did you fart? So what's going on? What is up with these little crowns with numbers next to them? Is this a new YouTube thing? Is this like a peer prestige thing? So does that crown mean you've talked the most in the chat? Is that what that is? You guys, it's like a competition. Are they gamifying the chat now? So you guys can like fight for who gets a crown? Is that what that is? Secret says, I had thought you had stopped live streaming. Andy, you let the cat out of the bag. Ugh. That's fine. So everyone, today is my last scheduled live stream for a while. So I really want to focus on music making, and as much as I love the live stream, having it there scheduled every Sunday is actually wearing thin. It's like, ugh. My family are like, we can never schedule anything on Sunday afternoons with you. I'm like, yeah, okay. I hear that. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to live stream once in a while when I feel like it, but I'm not going to pre-announce it. I'm just going to go live occasionally. And so when that happens, if you catch it, jump in. And if not, that's okay too. But I'm going to focus more on videos. Like I'm going to get through these videos detailing all the synths in the collection and just doing little Berlin School sketches with each one. But yeah, so today is the last official Sunday Synth Shenanigans until, I don't know, maybe I'll start it up again one day. But all the streams are going to be sort of impromptu when I do them. And I wouldn't look for more than one every 2 weeks will be a lot for me. It'd probably be less than that. So anyway, it is a pain in the ass, Wookie. Oh, Andy, don't worry about it. I was going to say it at the end. You just came in. What time is it? 2:51. It is the end. Perfect timing, Andy. Great segue. Anyway, so this is the Cobalt 8. All right, let me look to see. What am I missing in the chat? I've reconfigured the studio so I can sit down when I read the chat. My back thanks me. Yeah, I see the bot. You do it with cinema, with literature, music, and with alcohol. Yeah, you put it in on the shelf and let it age for a bit. That's cool. That's fine. Forced cyclical concentration is a fine approach to make oneself aware and appreciative of other things. Thank you. We'll see how it goes. I think the body electric. I'm trying to rotate around and do that whole work-life balance, hobby-life balance, all that good stuff. Let's see. If anyone else popped in and I missed you, I'm sorry. Maybe not. Oh, the crown thing? Yeah, I'm not sure what the crown thing is. Brent, you're wearing number 3. Congratulations. You've debated between the Cobalt 8 and the Hydra. Well, I mean, isn't the Hydra like twice as expensive, more expensive? Maybe not. Are they comparable? I would go with the Hydra. Like if I had to pick between a Cobalt 8 and a Hydra synth, I'd get the Hydra synth. If I had to sell one of them, I'd sell the Cobalt. I like the Cobalt very much. It's a good synth. But I think the Hydra synth can do more. Like the timbral surface area, like the map of all the possible sounds it could make, I think the Hydra has a better selection than the Cobalt does. So, but that's my opinion. So it's okay. You could turn them off. Ooh, Steve Elbows taught us in Jamie's stream. Go to settings, privacy, and it's an option. I can turn off the crowns. Oh, I'm totally going to turn off the crowns. Hang on a second. Oh my gosh, it even has a little thing to let me know who my top fans are, please. Oh my God. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of the fan crown thing. That's dumb. I suppose, you know, if the community was such that it was like competitive, I guess. I don't know, like gamers, maybe like that. That's fine. Doug, don't be sad. Still around. I'm going to put videos out. Plus, we're on Discord. You can always drop me a note. It's not a big deal. Let's see. Oh my God, you guys, don't cry. That's very flattering, but it's also silly. I'm just a person you don't really know on the internet. Okay, I appreciate you coming to the streams, and I appreciate the comments and things like that. But it's not like I'm dying or anything. I'm just gonna not stream on the schedule anymore. It's okay. I hope we could stay in touch. Doug, what is this, man? It's like, just drop me a note in Discord. It's fine. Let's see. The Hydra was cheaper. Oh, I'd get the Hydra synth. I mean, yeah, I'd get the Hydra synth. That's my opinion. I don't make very many you should buy this over that, but if you have to choose between a Cobalt 8 and Hydra synth, I think you'll get more. I think the Hydra synth is more flexible, right? The Cobalt 8's app is way better. If you want to like integrate it with your DAW, if you're using a DAW, the modal app is a thing of beauty as far as that. The Hydra synths is less awesome software-wise. So it's all good. Marky has not joined Discord yet. That's fine. You don't have to join Discord either. You could just send me email. It's fine. Leave a comment on a video. It's all good. Buy more synths. Yes, Tinker Scientist. That's very, very, very true. Some of us use this time for therapy. Well, let me tell you guys, if you need therapy, synthesizer therapy, the best time to get synthesizer therapy, there are 2 times, depending on what time zone you're in. The best time is during Synchrotron stream, which are Saturdays, Saturday in the morning, and that's a long one. You get a lot of therapy in 2 or 3 hours. The other one would be Garen's stream. Garen M's stream is on Monday nights, US Eastern time. So those are the 2 like key therapy sessions. I would go to those, okay? Because you're all in those ones too, right? Andy's coming back. I know Andy's not streaming right now, but he'll be back. He's got that giant rig. He has to keep streaming because he needs to pay for his new supercomputer that he bought, right? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, true dad. All right, so it's 2:56. I don't know. I think that's probably good for me. So what's going on in the synth world outside of the stream? So I've got these stations. I'm doing regular videos on individual synthesizers, right? Using one synth to make Berlin School sketches. I did that with a K2 a couple days ago. I'm going to do it with this Cobalt here today or tomorrow. I'm going to do the Blofeld next and a bunch of things. I'm basically going to go through the whole collection and just do little Berlin School sketch videos using one synth only. Because I find that fascinating and fun. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to keep working on my music. The album that has sort of been on hold for the last 6 months. Got to get back to that. I got like 14 tracks in progress. The work in progress folder is large. You know, it's all good. Karen, therapy. You're number one. You're number one crown therapist, Karen, for sure. Yeah, and Synchrotron, yeah, he's got his new supercomputer. He's got to do it. Yeah, we'll do the Blofeld. The Blofeld, I don't have good things to say about the Blofeld. It's another synth where it's a great synth with a lot of functionality, but it's totally unusable because its panel is terrible. But if you're willing to pay a couple $100 or whatever it costs, you can get the VST version of the Blofeld, do all your sound design on your laptop or your computer, which is super easy to do in their app, and then you just dump it over to the hardware. There's like a send to hardware option in the VST for the Blofeld. But yeah, I'm not going to be kind. The Blofeld's panel is unusable from my perspective. I know there are experts out there who can totally whiz through it. I think Venus Theory did a video where he was like, the Blofeld's awesome. Let me show you how awesome it is. And it does sound good, and he makes good use of it. But I am not serious bondage and discipline panel there. It's crazy, man. Is that Crown Royal? Yeah, exactly. One synth is a great challenge. Yeah, I'm having fun with it. It's not necessarily a challenge. It's more like a kata, I guess you could say, or an exercise. Because I mean, you can do it, but doing it and enjoying it really relies on a panel not sucking. So I don't know. Yeah, you're glad they released the software. I am too. I like that model. Like all the Korg Pi synths do it. I like doing sound design sitting on my couch, right, while my wife watches television shows about people with super yachts and behaving badly, and you know, the busboy is sleeping with the maid, etc., kind of stuff. Let's see. I don't know what you're talking about. Reverb SAS drives. Okay. All right. Well, with that, it is 2:59. I am going to call it a night. All right. You guys have fun. I will see you on the lines. I'll see you in Andy's stream. I'll see you in Garen's stream, all those places. And be good. And I will talk to you later. Thanks for coming. Do I use a Mac laptop? Yes, I do. Karen says, 12 minutes spent with one cured me of any. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Have a good one.